The Temple of Erethel lay hidden in the craggy peaks of Zithara, a world where the air shimmered with the energy of ancient ley lines. Massive stone pillars, etched with glowing runes, stretched toward the sky, their tips lost in drifting clouds. The corridors echoed with silence, broken only by the faint hum of energy currents running through the temple's core. Lyria Ven, a young archivist and descendant of the temple's caretakers, wandered through the grand hallways, fingers brushing over the carved glyphs. She had grown up hearing tales of the temple's guardians, ancient automatons, slumbering for centuries, meant to protect the sacred knowledge within. "Just a little song," she whispered, crouching near an alcove, feeling a mischievous impulse. She pressed her lips to her hand and hummed the old lullaby her mother had sung to her as a child. The melody was simple, yet carried a strange resonance, a harmony that seemed to interact with the hum of the temple's energy. At first, nothing happened. The stones remained cold, the runes dim. Lyria chuckled, expecting the enchantment of the old tales to be nothing more than myths. But then, a deep, metallic rumble echoed from the shadows. The walls vibrated. One by one, the stone guardians stirred, rising from centuries of slumber. Their eyes, luminous and unblinking, fixed on her. The hum of her lullaby had awakened them. The beginning, awakening the guardians. Lyria froze, fear and awe coiling in her chest. The guardians were enormous, humanoid in shape but constructed from an alloy she could barely name, etched with glowing runes that pulsed with life. Each step they took shook the floor, yet they moved with precise, deliberate grace. One of the larger guardians stepped forward, towering above her. Its voice, when it spoke, resonated like a chorus of bells. "Why have you sung the song of slumber?" Lyria swallowed hard. I was just singing for fun. I didn't mean." The guardian's gaze didn't waver. "The song of slumber is sacred. It awakens what should remain asleep." Panic surged through her veins. "I didn't know. I was alone. I just remembered my mother's lullaby." A low vibration ran through the hall, the other guardians stirring in unison. It was clear that Lyria had triggered something monumental. She had awoken protectors that had lain dormant for centuries, meant to guard the temple against intruders, not friendly caretakers like herself. The middle, the test of intent. The guardians began circling, their steps synchronized, creating a rhythmic pounding that echoed like war drums. Lyria's mind raced. She knew from the ancient texts that the guardians didn't distinguish friend from foe unless tested. They responded to intent and spirit, to the purity of action behind every movement. "I mean no harm," she cried, raising her hands. "I only seek to learn, to preserve the knowledge of Erethel." The lead guardian tilted its head, as if evaluating her words. Then it extended a massive hand, pointing to a floating platform inscribed with holographic glyphs. "Then prove your purpose. Survive the trial of harmony. Only those with clarity and courage may pass." Before Lyria could react, the ground beneath the platform shifted, transforming into a complex maze of light and energy. Her heart pounded. She had studied the temple's texts, but nothing prepared her for navigating a maze that responded to thought and emotion. The guardians followed silently, observing her as she began to move through the shifting pathways. Each step required focus. A misstep could trigger a trap, one that would immobilize or even erase an intruder. But Lyria remembered her mother's lullaby, its cadence, its harmonies, and began humming softly, letting the song guide her movements. With every note, the maze seemed to respond. Paths opened, obstacles lowered, and glowing glyphs floated to create bridges across the gaps. The guardian's eyes followed, unblinking, as if judging the authenticity of her intent. The turning point, facing shadows. Midway through the trial, shadows emerged from the walls, manifestations of doubt and fear, drawn from her own mind. They twisted and writhed, mocking her, whispering that she would fail, that she had doomed herself and the temple by waking the guardians. "I can't," she muttered, trembling. Then she remembered her mother's voice, steady and comforting, carrying the same lullaby. Closing her eyes, she hummed louder, pouring every ounce of courage, love, and determination into the melody. The shadows recoiled, unable to withstand the purity of intent and the resonance of memory and song. The guardians paused, their pulsing runes brightening as if acknowledging her bravery. The maze shifted again, aligning a final path toward the center of the temple, where the crystal of Erythel floated suspended in a column of energy. Lyria approached it cautiously, feeling the immense power radiating from the crystal. She knelt, hands hovering above the surface, and whispered the last line of her mother's lullaby. The crystal responded, emitting a harmonious tone that resonated with every guardian in the temple. One by one, the guardians lowered themselves, kneeling before her. The trial of harmony was complete. They had recognized her intent, her courage, and her purity of purpose. The ending, keeper of the temple. The temple grew quiet again, but not lifeless. The guardians resumed their watch, no longer threatening but protective, their glowing eyes soft with recognition. Lyria rose, awe filling her chest. She had expected punishment, perhaps exile, for disturbing the sacred slumber. Instead, she found herself acknowledged as the temple's new caretaker, a bridge between ancient guardians and the mortal scholars who preserved the world's knowledge. "You have sung with truth," said the lead guardian. "The lullaby awakened not only our slumber, but your own purpose. You are ready to learn, to protect, to guide." Lyria bowed, tears glistening in her eyes. "I will honor this trust. I will never forget the song that led me here." Days turned to weeks, and Lyria studied under the guardian's silent tutelage, learning the intricacies of the temple's magic and machinery. The melody of her mother's lullaby became a tool, a guide, and a symbol of connection between past and future. When visitors from distant worlds came seeking knowledge, Lyria led them through the halls of Erythel, her voice sometimes humming the ancient lullaby, ensuring harmony remained, and the guardians continued their vigilant watch. And so, the temple thrived, not just as a repository of wisdom, but as a living testament to courage, melody, and the unbroken lineage of those who dared to awaken what should remain dormant, yet with reverence and heart. In the silent nights, Lyria would stand among the guardians, humming softly, knowing that the song of her mother had bridged centuries, awakened protectors, and shaped the destiny of Erythel forever.